I'm going to share with you 7 things that your Ford pickup can do that you didn't know about. I'm going to show you on my F350 Dually, which is the base XL model. The layout of some of the buttons I'm going to show you may be different, but because this is the base model, you probably have most or all of these things on your truck, and I'll bet you didn't know how to use all of them. Stick around to the end of this video and I'll show you the one upgrade I do have that I could not live without. And I'll also share with you the one thing I wish I had, but I don't. Let's start with these optional auxiliary switches. They're included on the higher end packages on my XL model. Those were not included, and they are just switches to turn on auxiliary devices. For example, I could hardwire one to connect to this TPMS system. This is tire pressure monitoring system, so that I wouldn't have to plug in a cable and charge it every, couple trips. You can also use these 12-volt switches to power something like a winch or an air horn or a light bulb or an air compressor, because you know what a pain it is to try to pull into a gas station and fill up tires. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tires between the truck and the RV. To have a nice compressor back there would be great. In fact, I'm probably going to buy this one right here. There's a link for that down in the description below. Switches 1 through 4 provide 25 amps of juice, and switches 5 and 6 provide 40 amps of juice, so you use the one that most closely matches what you are powering. I'm only using one of these switches right now, and I've probably maxed out the power, and I almost never hit it because it's kind of unpredictable. I should probably disable that. That wouldn't really be safe if I was driving. One button I know you've seen, but I'll bet you don't use, is this one here, the voice command button, and it works whether or not you have Apple CarPlay connected or the Android version. You just hit it.
Please say a command.
FM 100.7.
Tuning to FM 100.7.
The voice commands vary depending on the options you have. For example, in some of the more upgraded trucks, you can adjust the thermostat by saying stuff like set thermostat to 70. On my truck, I can't do that. But I do have more options if I plug in my iPhone, because when your phone's plugged into Apple CarPlay or the Android version, this button activates Siri, so the stuff Siri can do, your truck can do now. For example, play podcasts.
Now playing Apple Podcasts.
This is something I believe in. It's something I'm passionate about.
You can call people, use Maps or any of the other apps that integrate with Apple CarPlay. While we're on this topic, remember that you can mute any audio source with that button. You can change songs with these 2 buttons, adjust the volume here. You don't need to keep reaching down here like I usually do, and this will change your audio sources. Press that, and you go through the different AM and FM options that are available for your truck. I'm guessing you probably use these buttons a lot to control your menus. I'm also guessing that you probably mostly have it set to something like that, where you can see your fuel and stuff. But did you know there's a lot more you can do? If you just scroll through these menu options, you've got some other cool stuff like tire pressure. Pretty cool. Got that thing for the RV. I've got this for the truck, and you don't necessarily have to go here and check it all the time, though you probably should. It will give you a warning if there is low tire pressure. A little yellow light will appear down below. Another one that's really cool that I'll bet you didn't know about was this off-road feature. This tells you what your angle is, if you're going down a hill, up a hill, whatever, and it can tell if your wheels are straight. Let me see that. Even though I'm not on right now, you can see that it's adjusting, and it can tell me what degree my wheels are set to, so I know if my wheels are straight, if I'm trying to get in or out of a place. So that actually can be helpful. I suggest you go through here and learn what all of these things do, because there's a whole bunch of cool stuff in here. When you're towing, you probably should hit this button right here, the tow haul button. That will reduce the amount of shifting you do when you're towing, which is going to make your drive more pleasant and be probably better for your engine. I wasn't sure how to use this button until like a month ago, but that is engine braking. If you have a diesel engine, this will assist you when you're braking. You press the button and that orange light on the bottom will appear. To turn it off, you just tap the button twice. Next is traction control, and I really did not have a good understanding of this until recently. Normally, traction control is on, and that prevents you from sliding out when it's muddy and windy and snowy and such. It also helps prevent rolling over by adjusting braking and power to wheels. But sometimes you want it off, like if you're stuck in snow or mud, so you just tap that button and you get that little symbol there. Traction control's off. and you have this little icon down there on the bottom that tells you that traction control is off. You usually don't want to be driving around with traction control off, probably just in situations where you're trying to get unstuck without having to go into a four-wheel drive. If you have a 4x4 and if you tow a big trailer, you should have a 4x4. When you put it into 4 low, traction control is turned off automatically to help you get unstuck. When you put your truck in reverse, you get this backup camera display, which in this case my tailgate's down and it's giving me that 360 view with this crappy camera. But did you know that you got a lot more options? If I hit this button, it'll zoom in on the ground because that's what that camera's facing at right now. If I hit this button right here, I have all these other options. I can get a complete screen view of that. I can see a 3-panel view. If I hit this guy, I can get my favorite view when I'm towing, which is a view from the top part of the cab, so I can actually see my trailer when I'm backing up. This one is supposed to be better for that. It's got the actual trailer thing side to side, which is, you know, kind of cool, but you just can't see that far on either side when there's a trailer back there. And of course, if you have it in park and you hit this button, guess what you get? You get what's in front of you, which is kind of cool, and that'll turn off automatically once you hit like 3 to 5 miles per hour. If you want to see just this screen, you hit this button here and hit this guy here, and bam, you have just that screen. And yeah, I know you can barely see it, neither can I. The cameras are terrible. This is a 2018. Let me know what the cameras look like on yours. I cleaned them, I talked to the dealer, I said if I replace the camera, it'll look better. They're like, yeah, no, that's kind of what it looks like, and I've adjusted the contrast and stuff. But you have a lot more camera options than maybe you were aware of. And sometimes this front view can be really helpful if you're trying to get as close as you can to a wall or something that could damage your truck. One thing I'm pretty sure most of you didn't know is that anytime you clean your windshield, it cleans your front camera like this. It's like you have C-3PO inside your truck. Look at that. How cool is that? Which of these Ford truck features did you already know about and use, and which ones were new to you? And do you have any secret Ford truck features that you'd like to share? Go ahead and post in the comments below. The one feature I can't live without, I'll never have another car without it, is Apple CarPlay. The one thing I don't have and really want is adaptive cruise control, which lets you cruise control and maintain the distance between the car in front of you and even stop. Here's a bonus I just literally learned about today. You got a light back there on the tailgate, and you got those lights back up there on the cab. And of course, when you lock and unlock and open the doors, those lights turn on. But did you know that you can just turn them on by hitting this button right here? Bam, you do that, and that will turn on those lights. You've got light back here when you're doing stuff like, you know, hooking up your rig. What do you think? Should I hit this one more time? I really got to work on my targeting. To see which truck you should buy to tow your fifth wheel, click on that link right there. Remember to subscribe. We can't wait to share our adventures with you.